Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Alaric Downer. I'm going to be talking about journals again. However, this is going to be a much shorter video, much more compact, much more simple. And today, I'm also going to be showing you pretty much the basics for journals. Again, this time I'm going to aim to make this video shorter. Less of a ramble, less information, but try to get the general point. Now, just to start off, journals, well, they are simply put our way to explore our character, our work. It's to show you've sold something, it's to show your character's undergone some event that has changed them in some way, so that people can look forward to role-playing with you afterwards, because, you know, it means there's more stuff to talk about, more stuff to kind of explore for their character. Now, now that I've got that out of the way, let's talk about how to do them. I've skipped a step here, but it's because that other step is quite simple. You simply hold down on the D-pad and you press X. It's that simple. It doesn't take a rocket scientist, and I do believe most people can do it, and I do believe you can do it, and you can get some truly brilliant pictures out of this. This isn't going to be an example because this is me just fucking around with it to show you how to do shit. So first off, always, and I mean always, go to camera and go to free camera. This allows you freedom, obviously, and you can get some nice shots. You can portray as much information, as little information as you want. So for example, you'll see a lot of dents, so you can be a bit cheeky, do something like that. Now, is this the best example of it? No. Actually, a better example would probably be to do something wrong like this, where it kind of hides it. Like you'd have to actually pay attention to find it. Yeah, see what I mean? I mean, you can still see it. It's very obviously still there, but it's not quite as visible. So something like that can help. Filters allow you to have some flavour to your journals, so that you aren't all looking the same, which I'd recommend. It's very good to look different and to establish your look, because then people can look at your picture, your thumbnail for the journal and say, well, that is pretty clearly a Alaric journal, a Garen journal, a whatever journal. And I would recommend it because it does add to your mystique, as one might put it. Okay, so now that I've put that there, another thing to note is that you'll obviously have to create a new project if you haven't already. So so now I'm going to go into story mode again and just make sure that I illustrate what it will look like when you are recording. This way it means that there's no way we could get it wrong, because again, it's all very simple, and I do think it's very fun to do, especially when you've got friends and you're all playing. But I'll also be talking about in this video why you should join the network. The network is a very polished system. It's got a lot of polished systems. It operates from a democratic point of view. There isn't one person who owns and runs everything. We avoid that for historical reasons. Not particular historical reasons, but, you know, reasons. And another reason I think is because we listen to people. We listen to people who are on the server, because without you, the server isn't anything, as far as I'm concerned. And we try to bring about a friendly community. But what we also do that is different from most is we're very, very, very lax when it comes to activity. If you're not active for a few months, we're not going to get on your case about it, you know. Why would we? As far as we're concerned, you're here to have fun, we're here to have fun, we're here to have fun, so there's no point in forcing you, if you get what I mean. So that's one reason to join, is you're not going to be pushed to activity. It's very much at your own pace. If you dive in and you make 100 fucking journals on your first day, fucking turn up. But if you make a few journals at a time, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, or maybe this is a side project, maybe it's something you do on the side from your other RP stuff, that's fine. All that is fine. All we ask is that you read the system you're going to be using. We ask that you don't try to finesse us, don't try to get more money out of us when it really doesn't make any sense, and just genuinely read the rules and understand that yes, we're people. The admins themselves are people. We fuck up. We do. It's a fact. We do. And anybody who has seen these fuck ups will know that we do. And I'm fine with that. And personally, I'm happy to admit it. I fucked up. I've made some calls where I shouldn't have made them, or where the call wasn't right, or it didn't make sense, and that's fine. You know, as long as I don't make it again and I don't and I do admit that I made it. That's if you get what I mean. And another thing that we do, we're also very unique in the sense of the journals. The journals themselves can read to entirely new changes, like, and the server itself responds to your actions. For example, it transforming into the syndicate can be interpreted as being fully player motivated. It all came from a player's actions. Now, granted, that player was an admin, but still, it all kind of loops around, if you know what I mean. And I think that's quite a cool little feature of you could, you know, do something on your neck of the woods and it could affect everybody else. And it's quite an interesting little feature that we do try to properly portray. And I know that we're having reactions occur, which is also we're having reactions occur in good old San Rico, which is Mexico for us, pretty much. And that's happened because of a big stream of attacks that was raised by players. I mean, Alaric was involved, so you know something went wrong. But yeah, I think we're a very unique server, and I've heard from people that have come on saying that we're a good server, that we're an interesting system, and it's a good system, but it's better than the one that we based it off originally. So yeah, and I think that's the sales pitch I can give, but I do believe that the server is worth your time. I do think it's worth certainly at least an attempt to get involved in. And yeah, it might take a while. Like, for example, as a newcomer, you can't own stuff that's outside of a certain area. You can't own stuff in Mirror Park originally. I mean, you can once when you build up some money, but to start off, you need to live in Davis, in Strawberry, or Marietta Heights, or Albuquerque Heights. You need to live in these areas, not, you know, really nice areas, which is to simulate what the syndicate is. Because the syndicate, at its heart, is symmetry. You start off at the bottom, a newcomer, and you rise up, and you rise through the ranks, and you pick up your specialties, you put together what you want to do, and you put together what your story is. Is your character going to be a good guy who's just ultimately stuck in a bad situation? Is your character going to be someone who can't quite tear himself away from the life but the others all the same? Or is he someone who just wants to make a shit ton of money, or wants power, or something else? And seeing how the character develops from there. And I'd recommend people do put forward to the characters, and that's what I think we force people to do, and that's the only thing I think we do force. And even then, I don't think we force it particularly hard. You can have an half-assed backstory. You don't have to put an incredible amount of effort into it, but we do recommend you do, because we want you to think about your character, we want you to like your character, and we want you to enjoy playing them. And I do think that we do get people to consider it, to think up things, to plan out their moves and whatnot. And through journals we can establish people's personalities. It allows you to establish who your character is. Maybe you isolate the character a little bit and that kind of thing. And with the syndicate becoming what it is, it means that I might order someone who's particularly new to do something for me, and they're not incredibly comfortable with it, so somebody else needs to, you know, step in and get them to do it. And it's all very interesting to see how the characters interact, and that's where the beauty of this is. The characters interact as is all RP, the beautiful bit. And it leads to some interesting journals, because you see characters interact in ways that you didn't really think were possible, but also you didn't really realise, and that's the sweetest bit. Yeah, I think that's about it. The only thing I need to cover now is, well, hold down on the D-pad and press X. That's all it takes. And now you're recording. Now you can make a journal. You can establish whatever you're doing. And when you're... And as a piece of advice before I check off and before I end this video and hopefully it uploads, is, well, make an intro journal. I feel like intro journals are a lost art. Intro journals are simply put what associates should make to start off. It's establishing who your character is, where they live, you know, what they drive, maybe even what they eat, maybe their exercise, maybe their routines, maybe their other people in their lives who matter to them. Because again, you know, you can have your NPCs who matter to you. You can have a sister, a brother, a girlfriend, whatever. It doesn't really matter, but it's completely up to you. And I do hope that people watch this video and, well, realise what potential is, like what kind of room there is for it. And if you are in the syndicate watching this, then thank you for being here, and I hope that this has got you on the right track to get started. And if you aren't a part of a network, of a syndicate, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, then please do feel free to join us, feel free to ask questions. You know, I hope that more people join, and I hope that people find something enjoying it. I personally love making journals. It's my favourite bit. You know, RP's fun, but the journals for me have a selling point. But yeah, there's a selling point for everybody, I think, because we do have just about everything. We have political systems, we have police systems, we have lawyers, we have a yearning skill system, which allows you to learn different skills if you're an established character. I mean, you can learn to fly a plane, and you'll have to actually, you know, learn about planes to make the journal particularly interesting. You better be expecting to make some journals for it, because it's going to get, obviously, it's going to be harder to do, because it's a relatively complex profession compared to, say, becoming a truck driver. Both are important, but, you know. So yeah, that's me done today. I hope that this has been a shorter video. I hope that you can enjoy this video a bit more than the last one, and goodbye, and best of luck to everybody in the syndicate.